Happy New Year, I guess. If 2025 felt like a dumpster fire, 2026 is shaping up to be a whole steaming compost pile. This will be the year that will define our history going forward, individually, nationally, and globally. If you were not ready for the changes that I warned about over a year ago, here's some tips that'll help you survive 2026. Hi, I'm the Urban Lady Prepper. I help single moms and solo women with practical emergency preparedness. But of course, all are welcome to become better prepared for whatever happens next. Welcome to 2026. If you spent New Year's Eve holding a frosty beverage, hopeful that this year will somehow be different, know that I did the same thing. I really want to believe that this year can't be worse than 2025. And while I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, I am going to be a realistic Randy. Look, let's be honest. If 2025 felt like a dumpster fire, 2026 is shaping up to be a whole steaming compost pile of political chaos, shortages, and general unrest. That's not me fear-mongering. It's just an observation based on the trends we're all seeing. Analysts are ringing alarm bells about geopolitical and economic risks. Reports suggest civil unrest could be even more disruptive in 2026, with Europe and the U.S. as potential hotspots. We're all feeling it, the stubborn inflation, the supply chains that still feel shaky, and a level of political division that feels like a constant low-grade fever. But this isn't about giving into fear, and this is not going to be another channel telling you who to be mad at or go blow $1,000 on tactical gear you don't even know how to use. As an urban prepper, I've spent years figuring out not just what to stock, but more importantly, how to think. In this episode, I'm sharing my essential survival guide. We're not talking about gadgets. We're talking about the core mindsets and key phrases that will genuinely keep you safe and stable when the world feels anything but. Because, in the end, the 6 inches between your ears is your greatest asset. We're going to talk about the mental tools that build real, unshakable resilience. Number 1, always keep them guessing. Openness is a quality best reserved for those in your closest relationships. The less anyone knows about you, the better. Don't give anyone any ammunition against you beyond what is obvious. Having this attitude protects you, your preps, and your privacy, what little is left anyway. Keeping others guessing doesn't mean hiding, refusing to use your voice, or limiting your expression. When you're content with who you are and becoming, you embody it and find your lane naturally. You don't have to sell it. However, from a strictly prepping standpoint, techniques like becoming the gray man, which I've addressed in previous episodes, is a critical mindset during an emergency. In those situations, standing out makes you a target for desperate people, for authorities who might get the wrong idea, or just anyone looking for someone to blame. Your goal is to be functionally invisible. It's about your daily life. Are you predictable? Make yourself hard to track, both in the real world and online. Your footprint, your real one and digital, is a huge vulnerability. In an era of cyber risks and digital chaos, oversharing is like painting a giant digital target on your back. It's about your car. That jacked up truck with a gas grasser ass bumper sticker might feel cool now, but in a crisis, it's a loot box on wheels. It's about how you carry yourself in public, quiet, observant, moving with purpose, but never ever drawing attention. You're not Rambo. You're not the main character in some action movie. You're a survivor, and survival is usually won not by the strongest, but by the one nobody saw as a threat in the first place. Number 2, embrace practical resilience. That's the second mindset. There's this caricature of preppers as hoarders with a bunker full of gear, but you don't want to confuse preparedness with consumerism painted in camo. Practice resilience is all about building real-world skills and cutting your dependencies on fragile systems, as well as the physical preps you have or are building. This means you need to shift your focus from having to doing. Instead of just buying 50 cans of beans, why not learn how to grow them? Instead of just grabbing a fancy water filter, learn how to find and purify water from a few different sources. Instead of buying a massive, loud generator, focus on cutting your energy so that a smaller, quieter power source is all you need. Practical resilience is all about skills. Can you cook a meal from scratch using just basic pantry staples? Do you know first aid beyond slapping on a Band-Aid? Can you mend your clothes, fix a leaky pipe, or change a tire without calling someone? Every skill you learn breaks another chain connecting you to a system that could fail. Every calorie you grow in a small garden is one you don't have to fight for at the store. We're all worried about workforce shortages and the insane cost of everything. Being able to do things yourself is the ultimate shield against that economic storm. And a huge part of this is your own body. Physical fitness is your most basic tools. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be a gym rat. Trust me, I'm not. But could you walk 5 miles with a 20-pound pack? Can you lift something heavy without throwing your back out? Your health is your wealth, and in a crisis, it's your absolute lifeline. The key phrase here is simple. Resilience isn't about having more. It's about needing less. Every step you take towards self-sufficiency makes you tougher, less vulnerable, and harder to control. Number 3, curate your information intake. All right, mindset number 3 is to actively and ruthlessly curate the information you let into your brain. We're living through an info apocalypse. Digital disruption, misinformation, AI-generated nonsense. It's a major global risk, and we're right in the middle of it. We get hit with a 24/7 fire hose of outrage, panic, and conflicting news designed to do one thing: keep you emotionally hooked. If you let yourself get swept away in that current, you will live in a constant state of anxiety and paralysis. And panic is the absolute enemy of preparation. It makes you do dumb things, waste money, and burn out. You have to become the strict gatekeeper of your own mind. This means 2 things: consciously picking your sources and consciously knowing when to unplug. First, find a small handful of credible, level-headed sources. Maybe it's a mix of independent journalists you trust, some academic reports, and niche experts who know their stuff. Ditch the cable news channels as much as possible. Their business model is built on fear. Unfollow the social media influencers who get rich off outrage. Look for information that's verifiable and presented without a ton of emotional spin. Second, schedule when you consume that information. Don't doom scroll all day. It's a trap. Check your sources once in the morning, maybe once in the evening. That's it. I promise, the world won't end if you're not plugged in for a few hours. Use that time to work on your skills, connect with your family, or just exist in the real world. So the key phrase is this: starve your panic, feed your focus. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Stop giving it away to people who want to exploit it. Invest it in actions that will actually make you and your family safer. Now, before we get to my last 2 mindsets, which are all about your community and your home, I want to ask you something. What's the single biggest step you've taken so far to get more prepared? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your ideas really do help everyone here. And hey, if you're finding this guide useful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're building a community here focused on calm, rational preparation, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Number 4, build your local network. In the prepper world, there's this temptation to be a lone wolf. That's a fatal mistake. I don't care how skilled you are or how much food you've stacked up. You cannot survive a long-term crisis alone, period. Your real security is in your community. And I'm not talking about some online forum or a Facebook group. I'm talking about the people who live on your street, your immediate neighbors. They are your true first responders. This can be the hardest step, I get it, especially today when everyone is so divided, and it's real tough for those introverts out there. But you have to put in the work. Start small. Learn your neighbors' names. Give them a wave when you see them. Offer to help carrying their groceries or lend them a tool. Just be the kind of neighbor you'd want to have in an emergency. You don't have to talk to them about prepping. In fact, you probably shouldn't. Just build a foundation of simple human goodwill. Find some common ground. Maybe it's gardening, setting up a neighborhood watch, or even planning a block party. These small social connections are the threads that hold a community together when the big systems start to unravel. Figure out the skills in your neighborhood. Is there a nurse on your block? A mechanic? A plumber? Knowing who can do what and being known as a helpful, trustworthy person yourself is worth more than an extra pallet of freeze-dried meals. In a crisis, a network of neighbors who trust each other can pool resources, share information, and provide real security. The key phrase for this one is critical. Your best immediate asset is a trustworthy neighbor. Technology will fail. Systems will fail. But a community of people who have each other's backs can get through almost anything. Number 5, gratitude is a survival tactic. This final mindset might sound a little soft, but I promise you, it's as critical as any of the others. When you're surrounded by headlines about economic disaster, shortages, and unrest, it is so easy to fall into a pit of despair, jealousy, and anger. You see the cost of living go up, and you feel resentment. You see other people who seem to have it easier, and you feel envy. These emotions are poison. They're a heavy anchor that will drain your energy and cloud your judgment when you need it most. Gratitude is the antidote. It's a conscious, deliberate choice to focus on what you have, not on what you lack. It is a mental discipline. As an old favorite lyric says, just be thankful for what you've got. Before you complain about the price of groceries, be thankful there's food on your plate tonight. Before you despair about the state of the world, be thankful for the roof over your head and that your family is safe today. This isn't about burying your head in the sand and ignoring the threats. It's about building the mental and emotional strength to face them. Gratitude blocks the bitterness that can rot you from the inside out. It forces you into a mindset of abundance, even when there's scarcity all around. It helps you see opportunities where others only see loss. A person who is thankful for a small garden will tend to it with care. A person who is resentful of its size will let it die. It's a powerful shield. It protects your peace of mind, which is a non-negotiable resource in a chaotic world. It makes you a more stable and reliable person for everyone who depends on you. The key phrase is simple: walk in thanks. It costs you nothing, and it will strengthen your spirit more than any wall you can build. Challenge yourself every single day to find new things you're thankful for. It's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it will get, and you're going to need that strength. So there you have it, 5 core mindsets for navigating the potential hot mess of 2026. 1, become unknowable. The goal is to be invisible, not invincible, and never lose your voice. 2, embrace practical resilience. It's not about having more, it's about needing less. 3, curate your information. Starve your panic, feed your focus. 4, build your local network. Your best immediate asset is a trustworthy neighbor. And 5, practice gratitude. Walk in thanks. Notice that none of these require you to go into debt. They're free. They're accessible to everyone right now. And they are way more powerful than any piece of gear you can buy or that podcast making living off of making you angry. No, that's not me. Preparedness is about building stability in an unstable world. You can't control global events, but you can absolutely control your response. You can control how you prepare. These mindsets are your framework for a calm, rational, and effective approach to whatever 2026 decides to throw at us. If this guide was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense, practical prepping advice. More importantly, let me know in the comments which of these 5 mindsets hit home for you the most, or which ones you're going to start working on first. Something good may grow out of 2026. Let's at least try. Thanks for listening, and good luck, y'all. We're gonna need it. Until next time, this is the Urban Lady Prepper signing off. I'm sure I've given you some things to think about as you go through the upcoming week. If this episode has resonated with you, please like, follow, subscribe, and leave a review. To help support my work, please pop me a super thanks on YouTube or donate using the methods in the description. Visit my website at urbanladyprepper.com for playable blogs and additional information. I appreciate your time with me. Stay safe, stay sharp, and be ready.